You're a bit wriggly today, aren't you? Hmm? Are you good? Are you good? Yes. You want my glasses, don't you? You've always wanted my glasses.
Oh, we will. Where do you live?
I live in You've been good? What's going on? Do we have any other problems? Yes, it's tough, isn't it? It's tough being a baby. My brain hurts a bit too, so I'm going to try and pull my face off. Now, do you think you're going to like the stuff? It's sugar free. Yeah, so it's not sweet. No. Yeah, come on in, Nuts.
Hi, how are you?
Hi there.
Now, one thing I want to do is, What? You're doing a lot of face pulling, isn't he?
Yeah, so
More than
More than
remember.
he was a wee while back, yeah, heaps
Do you want to just take him and pop him on the scales for me?
Sure. I'm just going to put you on the scale.
Now, this is the smallest size. I think you've got enough for about 20 monkeys here. But this is the liquid. It's a liquid suspension, right? And it comes with a its own little dispensing spoon, but we're not going to use that because it's too much. That's what for kids. Yeah. So this is what the Dr. Jamieson had recommended me put them on. It's called carbamazepine, and it's obviously a shake well before use kind of suspension, and you can see sort of the consistency of it, right? So very like kids medicine basically. Now it's a 20 milligrams per mil, and so in other words 5 mils, it's a spoonful, basically contains 100 milligrams. Now I'm assuming last time we weighed him it was just 890 grams or something like that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to dose him at a kilogram. I think it's a lot easier to dose him at that, and he's probably maybe a little heavier. That's why I want to get some weight, an accurate weight on this one. It's actually really the only thing I wanted to do today was get an accurate weight on him so we can monitor that as well, make sure that's dead right. Yeah. So I've written these up, and if his weight comes, if he's only 500 grams, we'll change this. So what we do is we start, the dose rate for kids is 10 to 30 milligrams per kilogram a day, alright? And what we do is we start slowly, so we start at just 5 milligrams per kilogram, and then we wean him, so basically he gets weaned onto it, right, over a period of a couple of weeks. So this here is the first 2 weeks starting today, the 19th, right? 2 weeks at 5 milligrams per kilogram, which equates in his because obviously 1 mil contains 20 milligrams, so a quarter of a mil contains 5, right? So it's not particularly difficult maths, but we've got to divide that into twice a day medication, right?
985 grams.
Yeah, so he's a kilo. That's good. He's put on some weight.
Yeah. It was 8.9, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so that's good. I think that's good. He's put on some weight, so makes it a lot easier that he's exactly a kilo. So basically, he needs 5 milligrams a day, all right, which is the equivalent of quarter of a mil, all right. So we've got to use an eighth of a mil twice a day, all right, using these small syringes. I've got a whole heap of them here for you. I'll open one up for you. So that's quarter of a mil, 0.25, right? So you're going to be 0.125, right? Not 1.15. So it probably doesn't matter if you're just somewhere in there, right? So almost at where the one ends, where the one ends, where that dot is, right? That would be perfect, right? For the first, and that's just obviously down in there. Suck it up and squirt it into his mouth, right? So I would try and get this as far in the back of his mouth as possible so he can't get out, right? I don't know what it tastes like. I assume because it's designed for kids it's probably tasty. Right? I'm not going to taste it myself.
I prefer that on
No, don't just get his mind off it.
Hello, baby.
So after 2 weeks, so that's going to be the on the 4th of December, that's when we're going to increase to 10 milligrams per kilogram, right? Depending on how he's doing. I'm hoping you guys will give me a quick call and say how he's doing well. And then we're going to go to, this is at 10 milligrams per kilogram, we're in the recommended dose range, all right? And the object of all of these medications is to try and have the seizures controlled with the lowest dose medication you can, all right? So if we can, what I want to do is get him onto 10, which is a lot easier with this. It's just quarter of a mil twice a day, so you're just sucking up 2.25, all right? And then, so he's going to get basically half a mil per day divided. And it's close to, he said to me, it's close to 12 hours apart as possible. So if you're up at, 7 in the morning, 7 at night, right? So, and then what we're going to do, so we're going to do that for another 2 weeks, okay? Yeah. And then on the 18th, so before Christmas, what I want you to do is talk to me and say how he's doing, all right? If he's still seizuring, and he may still be seizuring, then we're going to up his dose, another 5 milligrams per kilogram.
Depending on the side effects?
Yes, yeah, and that's the other thing that we want to assess as well. So there will be some side effects from this, all right? You're going to see some side effects, because all anticonvulsants, when you start them off, cause some drowsiness, all right? So a lot of sleepiness and,
Yeah, how long for though?
Well, it's generally over by the time the 2 weeks of...
Okay.
Yeah, it should get better. The first week or couple of weeks will be a bit, and it should get better. It's typically not a reason to stop, to be honest. It's more important. The reason to change or whatever would be because he's still seizuring. If he's sleepy and still seizuring, then we start to wonder if we're using the right medication.
Yeah, okay.
So what I want to do is talk to you guys before we make any decisions at this point on this day here, on this Friday. Give me a call, and if he's doing great and not seizuring, and he seems to be, he's probably going to be a little sleepy, but we can, we can keep him going. We'll just keep him on this 10 milligrams per kilogram, and then every couple of weeks we'll just reassess him and see how he's going until if he's doing fine, we'll stretch it out to a month, and then maybe even 3-4 months, and stuff like that. So now, possible side effects here, the most common ones will be sedation and drowsiness, so they just be quiet, right, and wanting to sleep a lot and things like that. It's written up that they can have vomiting and skin reactions and some liver problems as well. So these are the most common things. One of the real key things with this medication is that there's an enzyme system in the liver that gets that it needs to go through to work, and there are some types of medications, particularly antacids like Tagamet and things like that block that enzyme system. So if he's on those, the stuff stays in his system longer. So you've got to be careful. So that's what I'm saying. Anything, if you think you need to use anything else,
no, we don't use anything.
Yeah, no, I know you don't, but I'm just, that's a precaution. Underneath this here, I've got, this is the printout of all the, from the medical media publication on the internet, all right? So just from the New Zealand one, and the stuff that he's got is tablet suspension, all right? So, what are you guys doing?
So it is basically an epilepsy type of drug.
Well, it's exactly. It's treated. It's primarily, the uses are primarily anti-epileptic, all right, and for treatment of partial, generalised, and mixed forms of seizures, all right. So which is what we think he's got. Trigeminal neuralgia, we don't think he's got that. I don't know what glossopharyngeal neuralgia. I know what that is. That's a nerve in the brain, but why that should have problems. Alcohol withdrawal syndrome. I don't think so. Maybe we could keep some of those. And a bunch of other neurologic things, really. And I know
and
some
it is neurological.
And it's also used for people who are manic. So and I think he does have a little bit of manic behaviour, just pulling at his face and stuff like that. So I think it's well justified in that respect as well. So and the adverse reactions are listed here a little bit more deeply, a whole bunch of blood test changes and stuff like that, which I didn't put on this other thing because you'd only find those by
it's the type of thing that people can grow out of too. This might only be...
Yeah, well, I think that happens in kids, So, and he said that to me on the phone. He said, he may well grow out of it. And the thing is that what we do is the first thing to do is get the seizures under control, so they're not happening anymore.
Because they have got a lot more frequent.
And he said that's very common as well. So what we want to do is we've eliminated structural disease, all right? We've done everything we can to eliminate structural disease. And he mentioned, the only thing he mentioned was some dietary things, and I said, well, he's eating basically human food. I said he's got the liver mate that's eating essentially the same, and there's no problems with that. And he said, no, I just don't think it's, and he said you'd probably see something going on in the blood tests anyway. So without, there's nothing dietary that I can, vitamin B1 and stuff like that.
B12
Yeah, B12, yeah. But B12, is the sort of thing that's in most vegetables and things like that, so and red meats and things, so but he's vegetarian, I'm sure. So I mean,
he's not eating a heap of greens. But then that would have showed up in the blood test, wouldn't it?
Well, he said you would have seen some changes in the red blood cells, So
and whereas he had higher white